Diogo Dalot, who pulls the ball, and then Ronaldo! That is outstanding! A spectacular goal from Alejandro Garnacho!
Pavan had come for the corner. The last-ditch effort might just backfire. It's a good hit from your... It's not on top, but now it's Jerome Roussillon, former Wolfsburg player, to make it 3-1. He must score! Oh, he hasn't! They've somehow kept him out!
He's going to come forward, taking the space around the Ladero. Suarez, Elba, now the fourth, Sterling, off the bar, and Messi!
Welcome to another episode of Jabsports on Jab Media TV. My name is Amin. You can also call me Shoelace. Right, so for today's episode, it's all about the President's Cup discussion. On Sunday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko defeated Accra House of Folk by 2-1 at the Accra Sports Stadium. It was a very intriguing game, and we'll have a lot to discuss about that game. And next up is the FIFA Club World Cup update. Remember, we're in the semi-finals of the FIFA Club World Cup, so we'll discuss about that, and then we'll give you a little bit on transfer news. Remember, the transfer is getting more hotter and more entertained. And remember, Nico Williams' deal has fell off, and he has signed a 10-year contract extension with Atletico Bilbao, which a lot of Barcelona fans are, they're not happy. So we'll discuss about that too. Right, before we begin the show, I'd like to acknowledge our sponsors, EF Metalworks, which is located at Amasaman. Anything that has to do with metalworks, whether it is burglar proof, whether it's windows, whatever, whether it's gates, anything, just go on Facebook and just contact EF Metalworks for your gates or anything that has to do with metals. Nurturing the American Dreams today. Nurturing the American Dream, a book written by Mr. Frank J. Mensah. The book inspires you to achieve success right here in Ghana. How you can build your own business, your own company. All you have to do is just contact us on our social media platform, Jab Media TV, and then we'll get you a copy of the book. Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries, your one shop step of high quality cosmetics, and explore our range of foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick, and many more top brands, stunning jewelries, unbeatable prices. Just go on Instagram and just search for Dell Cosmetics. And remember, use the code JABMedia at checkout. Use the code JABMedia at checkout, and you receive 10% off your first purchase. Right. So back to today's episode. The President's Cup discussion. So on Sunday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko traveled all the way from Kumasi to Accra to face Accra House of Folk at the Accra Sports Stadium. The President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, was there. He actually was the one that gave out the trophy. We also had the Minister of Sports who was there. Other people from the Ministry of Sports were also there. Some people also from the Ghana Football Association, and even the National Sports Authority were also there. Right. We even had a lot of celebrities. Shatta Ali was there. D Black was there. We even had Sharaf Mahama was also there. So a lot of people, journalists, whatever. Supporters were there. Now the last time these two teams met was back in June. Yeah, back in May or June, where they met just ended Ghana Premier League season, where the match ended in a 0-0 draw. So I was here at the studios, and then I even discussed how poor that match was. It was one of the poorest games I've ever seen in my life. And then we even discussed how much our league has dropped. And yet, this time around we experienced some form of entertainment. It was 2-1, but still, I think still our league is not up to standard. I think our football is still below where it should be. But then I think the match on Sunday was still better than what we experienced back then in the Premier League. So we'll discuss about that. Now, at the stadium, right, I think the pitch was good. I'm sure my producer will show you a video of how the pitch was. I think in my personal authority, I think in my personal opinion, I think the pitch was very good. And besides, Kumasi Asante Kotoko has qualified for next season's CAF Confederations Cup, and then CAF has made it clear to them that the only stadium that is actually qualified that can be used for the CAF competitions is the Accra Sports Stadium. So the Kumasi Sports Stadium or the Baba Yara Sports Stadium is not qualified for next season's CAF Confederations Cup. So I mean, in general terms, the stadium actually looked very good. It looked so good. I mean, the stadium looked very good. I won't lie. The pitch looked good. So you can see that in the video. But then again, the outside part of the stadium was not in a very good shape. And you see, sometimes, as I said, I'm doing a project work on media presentation, how the media presents our football and to corporate sponsors. That is the topic of the thesis I'm doing. And as a journalist myself, I'm sitting here right now. I could have presented the positive aspect of the league, but I'm here presenting the negative aspect of the league. It's not as if I'm trying to focus more on it. I'll actually come to the positives. Don't get me wrong. So it's not as if I'm trying to present only the negative aspect of the league. No. But then I will still do that. I'll still balance the two. But what I'm basically what I'm trying to say is that the league, like what we witnessed yesterday, what we witnessed on Sunday, because yesterday was Monday. So what we witnessed on Sunday was very good. But we also have a negative aspect of it, and then the negative aspect of it, like as I said, I started by saying that the stadium, the pitch looked very good, but I wasn't really impressed with the outside part of the stadium, especially when the president himself was there. The Minister of Sports was there. And I know very well that they might have at least witnessed certain things about the stadium, which I'm hoping that this current administration will do something about. Because the stadium was actually it was a free gate. Those that could use the main gate were like dignitaries, the president. I mean, big people. Because I mean, Camido was there, so the musicians. I mean, popular people could use the main gates. All they had to do, I think they had a pass from the National Sports Authority or from the Ghana Football Association, so they could use the main gates. But apart from that, any other person should have used the other gates. And you see, the other gates were locked. The other gates were actually locked. So you had to use. They had, I think, special gates. I think my producer has a video on that, where about 90% of the supporters were using just one gate, and it was choked. That I had to wait outside for more than 15 minutes for the numbers to come down before I can get into the stadium. And then even in the stadium, right, the top part of the stadium, I mean the upper seats, the upper VIP seats were all empty. Whilst you had to judge people at the lower part of the stadium. And you see, I couldn't sit down because when I entered into the stadium, the lower part of the stadium, I could barely see the pitch. So I had to go outside and stand at a different place in order to capture the whole scene. And imagine standing for 90 minutes. It's crazy. I had to watch for 45 minutes. Then, and you know, the 15 minutes that I had to rest, I couldn't rest because that was when Shatawale was performing. So I had to leave where I was standing and go to a different part of the stadium to be able to see Wale's performance. And then walk out and then go to where I was standing again to watch the remaining 45 minutes. And you know, funny enough, I didn't even watch the ceremonial part where they were giving out the medals and the trophy because I can't stand again. I was tired. So that part, I was watching that part on Facebook Live on JH1 TV Facebook Live. I was in my car watching the remaining, whilst I was in the stadium, but I was in my car watching that remaining part of the job because of how stressful it was. At least the upper part should be open for some of us to go there. I understand some part of the stadium were full of banners. You mean, but other part of it there was no banners. So they have opened that side for us to be able to sit there, so that those that are sitting down there that can't see will be able to sit at the top there to be able to witness it very well. And that's one of my problems I had. And I mean, the stadium is deteriorating day in, day out. I don't know if I was able to shoot that. I wanted to shoot that part of the video. I don't think I was able to do that. But then at the front part of the stadium, right, Charlie, the top there, they rot. You go see, I won't lie to you. I dream fee come my head inside. They pray, say, make the metals fall, because my mama in cars park for that side. And they pray, say, like, make the metals fall for in car to make it crack in windscreen. Then you go get sense if you can't do them. But then in the Bible, God will tell you that if you are thinking negative, the negative will rather come and hit you. The negative was me standing, sir. I was tired. I had to go out because that part was deteriorating to the extent that I wish I had the video on that. I wish I had taken a video on that. You could see that the metals has rotten, like it has rusted to the extent that it was just hanging. It was just hanging at the top. It's like, imagine it was raining heavy. Any small wind go fit make it break, make it hit somebody in car. And mama they in people the my cars they there. So I was praying that one of it should have fell on their windscreen, make it crack, then go no see natural the stadium. That's what I'm saying. That I'm hoping that all these things that I have witnessed, the minister, the Ghana Football Association, the president himself, and other dignitaries have witnessed it with their eyes. Then we'll see if they work on it. Because our stadium needs a massive renovation. Both Accra and Kumasi actually needs a massive renovation. I won't lie. It needs a massive renovation because the stadium is like it deteriorate. Anybody will go to the stadium, anybody that went there on Sunday would have seen whatever I'm seeing. Anybody was Charlie, even the seats, most of the seats there have been broken because of the heat, the massive heat. And since May to June and July, it's been raining consistently. Charlie, like, we need to do something about the stadium. We need to do something about the stadium. Even about 15 minutes to the match, the scoreboard wasn't even working. It started working after 20 minutes when I realized that the scoreboard was on. And now, football right now has massively changed to the extent that now the scoreboard they show you. The scoreboard they show you it's like whatever you are seeing on the page, is being shown on the scoreboard. So it's like you are seeing whatever is happening on the scoreboard. So I'm not necessarily seeing House of Folks logo, Kotoko's logo, and the scores. So you are seeing a video of it. So wherever you are standing, if you can't even see an action, you can watch the scoreboard to see the action. But we don't even have that. We are even struggling to even display the scores, the logos. You are struggling. The time, we are even struggling to do that. So when are we going to get that LED something where, you know what? And I was in the World Cup. I traveled to Qatar during the World Cup, 2020 World Cup the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, sorry. And at that time, the stadium had airlines. I don't know if you know airlines though. Airlines is like wires across the stadium where the cameras are rolling from one side to another side. So realize that from one side to another side, there are cameras actually rolling. So the cameras are taking upper shots, like outside shots and air view shots. But you see, because our stadium, we can't actually do that. So here in Ghana, we are using drones. And right in front of me, I saw drones doing those shots. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not bad. I mean, it starts from somewhere. But then again, why should we be using drones at this time when we can renovate the stadium for the stadium to be able to give us that sort of air view shot where you don't even need to control anything. You are just in a mechanical room. My producer will tell you, you just be on your laptop and then you're just controlling them, and it's just going from one side to another side. Instead of you being on the pitch and using your phone to control that drone. So we have a long way to go, and you have a long way to go. We are not trying to frame. I'm not framing our league to the match on Sunday to be bad. It was great, but then these are some of the things I remember. These are some of the things I had witnessed when I went there. But apart from that, it was a very good game. I mean, Kotoko has played. The first half, for example, when House scored, I support House of Ogamu. I'm a phobian, right? And when it was 1-0, in my mind, I realized in my mind that we were going to win the game because, Charlie, the stadium was packed. The energy, the emotion, Charlie. If Kotoko, like if they hold, anytime they hold on the ball, within seconds, House of Oak would take the ball from their legs. Like the energy, the emotions, like the heat, like you could feel like, Charlie, the supporters were into the game. It was great. It's been the last time I experienced such emotions was during the All-African Games. When during the All-African Games, during the closing ceremony of the All-African Games, was the last time I experienced such emotions. And during the All-African Games, when the under-21s were playing the All-African Games, the football side, the finals, that was the last time I experienced something very, very intriguing like that. So it was great to see the emotions and how great the atmosphere was. It was so good. The pitch was also in a very good state because there's sort of raining, but the pitch was very good. So in terms of that, it was good. Another issue I had was the organization. The match was supposed to play on 4 p.m. and about 1 hour to the game, it was announced that it's been postponed to 5 p.m. It was great for me because I was late. I was very, very late. I was at 4 p.m. I was now at Dankwa Runabout, Osu. So it was good for me when it was postponed. But then again, I mean, it happens. It happens. Even abroad, it happens. But sometimes in abroad, they will give you a specific reasons that you yourself you can't argue about. But it was good. I mean, because when I even got there at 4:10, 4:15 p.m., a lot of people were still rushing to the stadium. So maybe I don't know if that was the reason why the time was postponed. But then again, I think that these are some of the things you should look at and try and then sort out before the upcoming 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League season. But then in general, it was a very, very good game. I mean, the guys came out, they played very good football. And I'm hoping Kotoko can send that sort of energy to the Confederations Cup. Same as Bibiani Gold Stars, because they are going to play in the CAF Champions League. So I'm just hoping that they will also be able to take that sort of energy there. Because it's high time Ghana needs to get back. Remember, Charlie, see, teams like Mamelodi Sundowns, Al Ahly, Wydad Casablanca, Esperance de Tunis, these clubs are African clubs that went to the FIFA Club World Cup. And they didn't earn less than $20 million. They've not earned less than $20 million. So imagine House of Folk or Kotoko was there. Imagine Haas and Kotoko earning $20 million. Imagine what they can do. Haas project, our Pobiman is there. There is no money to complete the project. Imagine Haas had went there and even earned $5 million. Imagine what he could have done at Pobiman. Or Kotoko at is it Adojaki or Adajaki at this thing at Kumasi. Their project is also there. So imagine Kotoko went there. They could have also done something over there. Or even any other team like Midiama Sporting Club or Idjana Stars or even Bibiani Gold Stars or even Samatex. That money could have done something there. Even the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Manchester United, the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Inter Milan, PSG and all those clubs who are already rich. But just look at how much $20 million, $30 million, $40 million will do to them. Even Brazilian clubs like Flamingos, Palmeiras, this top class, imagine how this money will do to them. So imagine Ghana where we are broke and very broke. Kotoko is broke, us is broke. We are all broke. That's the truth. Our football is broke. Oh. Imagine the Premier League. Remember, the Premier League doesn't have a headline sponsor. They have sponsorships, but they don't have their last headline sponsor was the Barclays Premier League. That was in 2013 or so. That was the time. I think that was the last season Man City won the Premier League where Aguero scored that goal. Aguero, they said that goal. Since then, they have no headline sponsor. It's just La Liga and then the Serie A and all those leagues that have headline sponsors. And the amount of money they are making. Yeah, we have an headline sponsor, Bet Power Premier League. How much? I don't even think Bet Power will give us more than. I don't think I'm even making more than $50,000. I have to research on, but I don't think we are making more than $50,000 from Bet Power. So our league is broke. Where we have the jersey where our players go wear from day one, the one they go wear till the end of the season. So we are broke. Accra Sports Stadium, we have about 5 teams, 6 teams sharing Accra Sports Stadium. We are broke. I want to make you producer highlight that place. We are broke. You get it? We are broke. So for a league that are broke, where FIFA is giving us opportunities to make money, why aren't we taking that opportunity? So why don't we build our league to a certain level where it will look attractive for more sponsors to come in, where we can, so at least we'll get at least forget 2 teams for Champions League. At least we get 2 slots for Champions League, we get 2 slots for Confederations Cup, we get 4 slots, where we are battling with the top teams in Africa. We also get opportunity to go into such competitions, the FIFA Club World Cup, where at least our leagues go fit make money. And you know what? Nice thing about time is here. The Ministry of Sports, the government, through the Ministry of Sports, we go fit tax this sort of teams. We can tax them to the extent that when we tax them, so imagine say them go there and the amount of $30 million. Now government at $5 million. Government go fit take that $5 million, upgrade some of our pitches in the country, whether they be AstroTurf or whether you go fit innovation. Like for example, Lakeside Marina Park, for example, the park he did there. That park is the location where government said go fit come those mini stadium for there. But you don't enter anybody in head inside though. We are waiting for a foreigner to come and do it. Government, so imagine you have gone there, where imagine say house food and Kotoko there. Now Kotoko carry like 5 million cam, house carry 5 million cam, $10 million go fit build a mini stadium for there. But you see, when you are not investing, when football stakeholders are not investing in the league, that where we go there. So, anyways, in general, it was generally a good game. I mean, it was very good. I think it was a very good game, but we have a lot to do, and I'm just hoping to see if there will be difference from this upcoming season to the just ended season. But then again, congratulations to Kumasa Sante Kotoko. So if he has then strike them myself for the ground top. You get penalty with his power. Somebody go talk you say if then sell the match. Do not sell any match. If he has them lose. So again, yeah, Charlie, congratulations to Kotoko, right? So let's go straight to the next one. FIFA Club World Cup updates. So for the FIFA Club World Cup, we are now at the semi-finals of the FIFA Club World Cup. I mean, the last time we actually discussed a bit about the quarterfinal. Let me go through the quarterfinal, right? So it was Fluminense to Al Hilal 1. Fluminense to Al Hilal 1. Palmeiras 1, Chelsea 2. Paris Saint-Germain to Bayern Munich 0. And the unfortunate accident there when Donnarumma. I just thought it was an accident where Jamal Musiala has an injury where he's out for around 5 to 6 months. Neuer did a post-match conference where he said Donnarumma shouldn't have come out like that. But at the end of the day, he told him to go into the dressing room to at least to go and see Jamal's condition. It's a very serious injury, and I'm just hoping that after Jamal comes back, at least he'll be able to find his form back. But most of the time, these players, when they go for injury and they come back, they find it difficult getting their form back. Even if they get their form back, the consistency is not there. So I'm just praying. It's like what is happy recovery to Jamal Musiala. Madrid 3, Borussia Dortmund 2. Madrid 3, Borussia Dortmund 2. All right. So yes, so that was the results for the quarterfinals, and this is the semi-finals. Fluminense versus Chelsea. Fluminense versus Chelsea. That match will be played today. I think it's 7 p.m. Ghana time. 7 p.m. Ghana time and 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Yeah. So it's Fluminense versus Chelsea. Then then tomorrow is Paris Saint-Germain versus Real Madrid. That's the match of the semi-final. PSG versus Real Madrid. So we'll see how that game goes. We'll keep an eye on that tomorrow. So that game will be played in New Jersey. That game will be played in New Jersey in the United States of America. And then Chelsea's game, which is happening today, will also be played at New Jersey, the same stadium here in New Jersey. Right. So let me go through that game quick. So today, Chelsea versus Fluminense. For people who don't know, Fluminense is actually a Brazilian club. Fluminense is a Brazilian club. They are based in Rio de Janeiro. They play their home matches at the Maracanã Stadium. They defeated Al Hilal this season. They also defeated Inter. Remember, they beat Inter by 2-0. They also drew to Mamelodi Sundowns. They also defeated Ulsan from South Korea. And then they also drew to Borussia Dortmund. Yes. So that is Fluminense. So far, they've had a very good season. Yeah, very good tournament. Yeah, let me just put it that way. They've had a very good tournament, so we'll see how that goes. Chelsea too defeated Benfica by 4-1. Also defeated Palmeiras by 2-1. Also defeated Esperance de Tunis by 3-0. They lost to Flamengo by 3-1, and then they defeated Los Angeles by 2-0. So basically, Chelsea has met they've met 2 Brazilian clubs, so including today's match is 3 Brazilian clubs: Flamengo, Palmeiras, and then today Fluminense. They've lost 1, they've won 1. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. So I don't like Chelsea. I'm a Manchester United fan, so I hate Chelsea. But I also love Chelsea to win because Chelsea is an European club and it's an English club. I personally want an European club to go into the final. So I'm hoping Chelsea would win. But whatever is going to happen is we'll see how that goes. If Fluminense also wins, I mean, I'll be able to throw my Chelsea fans. So yeah, so we'll see how that game goes this evening. Tomorrow, as I said, tomorrow is PSG versus Real Madrid. All right. So away from that, let's go to our transfer news, and that's why we're going to end today's episode on Jabsports. We'll go straight to, and I've been saying from weeks in, weeks out now, all my transfer news are from the Don himself, Fabrizio Romano. That's where I'm getting all my information from. When it comes to transfer news, he's the most reliable journalist out there, together with David Ornstein. But then, as again, I still prefer Fabrizio Romano. Right. So the first news is locally Ghana. Daniel Barnier has signed for FC Arau in Switzerland. His contract with FC Zurich was terminated last week. This time around, he has signed for a new team. I love Barnier. I mean, he's my favorite Ghanaian player, together with Mohamed Kudus. I love Barnier. I mean, I used to watch him at the time that I was playing for Accra House of Folk. I used to watch him all the time. I really love him so much, and I wish him all the best in his new team at FC Arau. Right, and another news there is Galatasaray. Galatasaray will discuss with Napoli again after agreement with Osimhen. Napoli maintain talks active for Darwin Núñez as top priority, whilst Lucado remains available. Common wait for Gala to sign a striker so they can sign Alvaro Morata. Right, so in this deal, what it means is that Galatasaray submitted a first bid to Napoli for Victor Osimhen, around £43 million deal. That deal was basically rejected by Napoli. So Galatasaray says they will submit another deal again for Victor Osimhen. But so far, we don't know how much they are going to send. And then Napoli wants to replace Victor Osimhen with Darwin Núñez. Liverpool want to sell Darwin Núñez this summer, so we'll see how that deal goes. We will see where Victor Osimhen will end up. Victor doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia as of now, so we'll see how that deal will go. Yeah, and then Another deal there is to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is set to be available as free agent this summer. Understand Al Cassia and Uber are prepared to part ways on mutual consent as Saudi Pro League want to bring in a younger striker. Right. So we all know the age of Aubameyang, who is now very old. His team that he plays for in Saudi Arabia is called Al Cassia. They said they want to terminate his contract so that they can sign a much younger striker, and then so things goes on their. They are almost finalizing the termination. So Aubameyang is set to be available for free agent this summer. There are a lot of teams who are looking at the deal, so we'll see where Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang might end up. Now, Arsenal remain in direct talks with Sporting for Victor Gyökeres, with player doing his best efforts to join. The new release clause for Nico Williams. So basically that's that. So with that news, Victor Gyökeres, we all know the Sporting Lisbon striker, has said very well that he wants to join Arsenal only. Arsenal wants to sign him, but as I said, Sporting's president says, yes, of course, we're going to sell him, but we're not going to sell him for less than 70 million euros. Arsenal don't want to sign him for 70 million euros. Victor Gyökeres also wants to leave, has said that he's not going to stay at Sporting this summer. So we'll see how that league goes. Remember, Arsenal has officially announced the deal for Martin Zubamendi from Real Sociedad. So yeah, so Zubamendi is now an Arsenal player, and Arsenal are looking to also add Victor Gyökeres. And I said it last week that Arsenal is a huge club, and if Arsenal wants to win the Premier League, they need to sign a striker. Arsenal needs to sign a striker. Someone who can. Well, look at City for example. City has got Haaland. Liverpool has got Salah. Even though he's a winger, they've got Salah who is banging the goals, and they're looking to sign in a striker. So if Arsenal wants to win the league, they need somebody who can bang in the goals, and that person who can bang the goals is two guys. Either it is Alexander Isak, or it is this guy Victor Gyökeres. And let's be honest with you, Newcastle is not going to sell Isak for less than 80 million pounds. It's not going to happen. So the better option there is Victor Gyökeres, and Arsenal needs to find any ways and means to get this guy to the Emirates, and that's exactly what they are doing. So direct talks still continue, so keep an eye on that deal. Alright, then Arsenal and Brentford exchanged all documents last week for Christian Nogard deal. Second part of the medical also completed. Contract signed and official statements. Alright, so Arsenal have signed. So remember, Arsenal has signed Kepa, and what I said just a second ago, Martin Zubamendi. They are also finalizing a deal on Christian Nogard, who plays for Brentford. So his medical is completed. He has signed his contract. They are all waiting for the official statement from Arsenal. So right now Arsenal is about to add a third player, Christian Nogard, Kepa, and then Martin Zubamendi. The fourth person would be Victor Gyökeres. Also remember that Kyoto, the Celtic winger, has signed for Birmingham City Football Club. It's a top player, and Birmingham are making moves that will get them back into the Premier. I love Birmingham City so much. That's where my dad stays, so I love Birmingham. And, it's a top club, and we've all seen Sunderland. Sunderland is back in the Premier League, and another team I would like to see is Birmingham City. So we'll see that. And then again, Anthony Elanga, the former Manchester United winger, Anthony Elanga, has traveled for first part of his medical at Newcastle today. So Newcastle United wants to sign the former Manchester United winger Anthony Elanga, who currently plays for Nottingham Forest. He's key to Forest finishing in the top 6 in the league last season. He's currently has traveled and has arrived in Newcastle for his medicals. Newcastle is buying him for 55 million euros. 55 million pounds deal. So Elanga is currently in Newcastle today. So we'll still keep an eye on that. Yeah, we'll still keep an eye on that. Right, so these are some of the key issues in our world of transfer. We have a lot of issues going on, but these are the key ones. These are some of the key issues that we can give to you for now. So we'll still keep an eye on that, and we'll see, especially the Victor Osimhen deal. And remember, Mohamed Kudus has said he wants to join only Tottenham Hotspur this summer. So Mohamed Kudus wants to join Tottenham Hotspur this summer. And Tottenham are working on that deal together with West Ham to see if they can bring Kudus to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And again, Manchester United are also working on the Brian Mbeumo deal. They are still working hand in hand. The deal they sent to Brentford was rejected, so they are still having their conversation with Brentford. We'll see how that deal will go. So yes, so this is where we are going to end today's episode on Jabsports on Jab Media TV. Before I leave, let me acknowledge my sponsors, EF Metalworks. Anything that has to do with metal, just contact them on Facebook. Nurturing the American Dream, a book that inspires you to create your own business down here in Ghana. How to be successful here in Ghana. Just contact us on any of our social media platforms for your book. Then we also have Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries. Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries. Your one-step shop for high-quality cosmetics, eyeshadow, lipstick, stunning jewelries, unbeatable prices. And you have 10% off on your first purchase. Just use the code JABMedia at checkout. And the last one is Glory Foods. Glory Foods. Whether it's jollof rice, whether it's fried rice, whether it's pizza, anything. Glory Foods, which is located around Medina, Ogbojo. Just contact them. Just go on Facebook or Instagram and just type Glory Foods and then just contact them for your food. Alright. So before I leave, I'll remind you to subscribe to our YouTube page at Jab Media TV. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram at Jab Media TV. You can also follow me on Instagram at i.amamin, i.amamin, and on Twitter, on Facebook at Mr. Amin, and also on Snapchat at Mr. Amin. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.